It's Spellshot62 here. A bit earlier than usual, but it is time for me to do my Alola Pokemon tier list. I want a little bit of time later to do some other stuff that I have planned, so yeah, I'm just gonna start a little bit early. All right, let's hop right into it. So at the beginning, we have obviously the starters as per usual. We've got first the Rowlet line, and it's always been a bit of a question about whether I like Rowlet or Decidueye more. I think they're both amazing designs, but Dartrix is definitely at the bottom. Uh, actually, real quick, let me pull up the Alola Pokemon in order. Uh, New Pokemon. Because I'm not gonna be one to hide the fact that I don't know a lot of Gen 7 names. So I'm gonna have a list pulled up on my phone that I can always access because I know I'm gonna mess that up. And that's a problem for y'all. I'm sorry, but I will be checking that frequently. Um, and if you want more lists like that, I post the VODs over my YouTube. I've done already generations 1 through 6, with the exception of Mega Evolutions, which will go on a list with Gigantamax forms and History Pokemon. But then, of course, after this first, I'm going to do the Galar Pokemon and the Paldea Pokemon. And I'm sure once the Legends ZA stuff comes out, I'll make a list for that. And I also have gameplay for currently Pokemon Hi-Fi Rush and Lord of the Rings. So if you feel like you might like any of that, please feel free to head on over there. And on my Discord, which I have recently opened, I'm looking forward to getting some fans in there so I can talk with them about this because I don't have many opportunities to do that right now except in the comment section, and those are relatively few and far between. So I would love to get a chance to chat with more of you guys. Anyway, back to the actual list. I'd say I probably like the Decidueye more. So I'm going to put that up very top for now and Rowlet just below. Rowlet is really adorable and is probably one of the best first stage starters. It looks really nice. He's just a round, fluffy boy. He looks so silly with his little like bow tie, and the overall just roundness of the body. Like there might not be there are probably only a couple Pokemon which are more round than him, and they're not even like cuter than he is. Like look at the facial expression. Look how derpy that is. I love him. But of course, the Decidueye is just a really cool Pokemon. He's got the edgy look. I'd say without being too over the top. He's still got some pretty bright colors. Overall over his body. Um, so he's not like a fully a dark and edgy Pokemon, but it's there. And the blend of all the colors looks really nice. It's not like overwhelmingly favoring like the brown or the green or the white. Like they're just a nice mix and they go well together. Um, Dartrix is your name, yes. Didn't want to confuse it with Quilladin because for some reason I do that. It's probably just because they're middle stage Pokemon, which are super derpy. Dartrix is all right. Um, no, it's not solid. It's mid. But I don't like hate the design or anything like that. Um, it just has awkward middle stage starter syndrome. Um, that's just how it is, unfortunately. Um, and I don't know. There's just nothing great going on here. There's nothing like particularly bad here compared to Decidueye and Rowlet. It's just so overwhelming visually compared to the two because it has to be like the middle stage to this, and it does it like fine but not amazingly. Um, it pulls a lot more from Rowlet, but like just not as well because it's like bigger and just not as cute in my opinion, even though it is kind of cute. Um, Litten line. So the Litten itself is a pretty great first form starter. I'll also probably go ahead and put Incineroar up there too. Um, Incineroar is a bit weird to me because there's part of me out there that likes it. I like it. I think it's kind of fun in Smash Bros to play. It has a pretty solid design. Could have done without the fourth Pokemon, which obviously takes inspiration from Fire Fighting type. But it's Dark type, so it's fine. I don't know. It's kind of a weak argument for me. But still, I like the design. It just feels a little uh, top heavy sometimes. Like it's got these really big muscles up top, and the legs are like pretty slim overall, and that makes it feel a bit unbalanced for me. Um, but otherwise, I mean, yeah, it usually looks like a pretty good design for me. I don't really have a problem with it. Torracat is probably gonna go up top here. I think it's the best of the middle stage starters for this region, like by a lot. Um, but yeah, I think it blends these two designs really well, and I don't really know why they decided to pivot from red to like a more orange back to bright red. Um, but hey, it works on Torracat, so I don't really have an issue. Um, Poplio line. Poplio is really cute. I People give it way too much shit. It really is a super cute Pokemon. Just because the future forms get more feminine doesn't mean that Poplio itself is any less good. And even then, like Primarina, I think is a really underrated Pokemon. Primarina looks sick. Like I don't care how feminine it looks. It's awesome. Um, these Pokemon get way too much hate for literally no reason. It's just people being mad because Pokemon is different now or something. Um, I don't really know why. It's just not it's just not right in my opinion. I think Primarina deserves more respect. And a bit of a spoiler, I do plan on doing a proper playthrough of Pokemon Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon, probably Ultra Moon. Um, but I plan on doing a proper one of those for for the channel at some point. Because I've never actually played it all the way through before. Nor did I play Black and White 2 fully. So those will be playthroughs on the channel. And when I play Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon, I'm gonna be picking Primarina because I did Decidueye for the first one. Um, Brion is just more of the awkward middle stage starters. I think I like it a bit less than Dartrix. It's just something about the eyes; they're too flashy for me. Like they pull in the attention, and the rest of the design isn't like good enough for me to like it. Really, like there's a whole bunch of weird design aspects. But it's just always the eyes that draw me in, and not in like a good way. But yeah, like the little bulbs on its head and the little like frilly thing it's got going on down here, which doesn't really exist that much on Primarina, so I don't even know why it's here. Like I don't know why it gets like big and poofy, and then it's like sleek again up here, like it was with Poplio. I think it works a lot better on Primarina, and I think Primarina's design in general works a lot better. Like again, I don't know what these bulbs are on the ears or like where they went. I guess they're like these hair tie things, but then like they work better as hair ties than this. And the color of I think for the first form of starters, it's usually fine if they're like mainly one color. Um, but I don't know something about just it's just a lot of white and a lot of blue on it's hard it's really hard to explain why this color palette works or this color palette doesn't work and Primarina's does. Cause like I'm saying, like I don't like this because it's a lot of blue and it's a lot of white. But Primarina is obviously a lot of both too. It's just the balance works a bit better for me, and it might be the fact that there's really multiple shades of blue going on here, and they're like equally balanced out with the white. Whereas this is like entirely blue, except for this weird frillish thing and like all the accents. I don't know. I can't really explain why I don't like Brion well in like an objective way. It's just all the designs come together in a way that is kind of underwhelming to me. Piggyback is a cute Pokemon. I don't really find anything particularly special about it. Like with most first stage regional bird Pokemon, um, it's just kind of there. And I do like the different kinds of colors. I like that its beak is really pointy, which same thing kind of comes down here with Trumbeak, which I like a little bit less, just because it again awkward middle stage. Like the cute little beak like this works well with the first stage because it's so cute. Whereas this is one down here is trying to be a little bit more serious, and then when you see what it turns into, it doesn't really make sense for the beak still be quite so straight. And then also it's just Trump it just doesn't have enough going on for me to really care about its design. Toucan is a really good Pokemon though. I like it quite a bit. I used it in my Moon playthrough. Um, it's really fun and Beak Blast um is that its move? Either way, whichever one it was, that one was a fun move to use during the playthrough. Getting the chance to I think it burned Pokemon when it was hit by a physical move while using Beak Burn or whatever. But yeah, very fun Pokemon to use. And the design works really well. I like the wide variety of colors going on with the beak, and it's not even like it has a lot more color than that too. Like even just in small places, like the red on its tail, as opposed to it could have just been like black, like it was with the previous forms, but they let there be some red there on there. The feet and like under the eye is blue. It's got the yellow spot here, and it looks just so angry for like no reason. Like it's just kind of funny how angry this little guy is. Um, but yeah, it was quite enjoyable for me to use. Not one of my favorite regional birds, probably. I like Staraptor more. I like Talonflame more. Uh, I can't comment on Corviknight yet, but I'm guessing you guys can tell how I feel about that probably. Um, but yeah, I think Toucannon's design works quite well. Young Goose and Gumshoes, the Donald Trump Pokemon. Um, Young Goose is fine, but Gumshoes is ugly enough, I think, to go down in bad. I just I just don't find anything visually appealing about this Pokemon, and the color design works even worse than it did over here. And even here, it didn't work particularly well. It's just like this one's a little cute, which is why I'll put it in mid. There are no redeeming qualities to this one really. It's not so bad that I like hate Gumshoes. Um, it's just like it just has enough bad qualities and no good qualities to where it is in the bad category for me. Alolan Rattata and Eradicate. Which by the way, that reminds me because I couldn't really I don't know if this is like a proper full tier list. I was having a surprisingly large amount of trouble finding a tier list which had everything. So I hope this has everything that I really want. I don't want to go through like all the type null combinations or like the deflated Mimikyu or anything like that because there were some tier lists which went down to that extreme in terms of including everything. But then even then those would a lot of those would exclude like Alolan forms. So I don't know if I have everything here. If anyone can think of anything, then please let me know in the comments. Um, but yeah, I think this has everything that I would want to rank. But if it is missing something, just let me know. I would really appreciate that. Anyway, back to Alolan Rattata and Raticate. Rattata is like fine. I mean, it's just Rattata, but black, like kind of spiky. The mustache is weird, which probably puts it down to mid. I don't know where I had a regular Rattata. Probably still mid. Um, yeah, I think it's probably more accurate. Um, but yeah, I don't really. I mean, I'd probably say it's a worse Rattata, but not by much because I mean the main color really, the main difference really is just the color. Like these little design changes aren't really enough for me to change my opinion that much. Raticate, Alolan Raticate though is a Pokemon I actively find bad. Like the puffed out cheeks, it just doesn't work on me. Like it's a Pokemon that is like an ugly kind of fat. Like there are some Pokemon which are cute when they're fat. Like a lot of like real animals are fat and adorable. But Raticate is not. It is just a short, plump. Like it looks like it's like a. I want to say it looks like a fat man kind of, but like it just it has that like same sort of vibe. Um, and it does not sit right with me. Um, the colors are like fine, but other than that, that's really the only compliment I can give this thing. Alolan Raichu is a great design. It's a pretty straightforward design. They just like changed the colors a little bit and made the ears more into like whatever these things are. Um, I don't really know what they are, but its surfing on the tail gives it a lot of personality. And I didn't use one in my original Moon playthrough, and I kind of regret that. So I'll probably try to if I play Ultra Moon, or when I play Ultra Moon. So yeah, I think that's a really cool way to give the Pokemon a bit more personality. I prefer Raichu over Pikachu anyway. This could have easily just been Surfing Pikachu, um, because of how Nintendo treats their mascot. But I'm glad they gave Raichu that little bit more love, and I think it does up that Pokemon's it ups my liking for that Pokemon in my eyes. Um, what is that? Grubbin? Yeah, Grubbin, Charjabug, and Vikavolt. So Vikavolt, let's get this out of the way. Vikavolt is an excellent Pokemon. I'll probably put it right there behind Primarina still. I really like Primarina. Um, I probably would be closer to this or this, but because so many people have hated on Primarina, I just have to give it that little boost in my eyes because if I like a Pokemon and I have to defend it a lot, chances are I'll like it more. Um, yeah. Um, but yeah, Vigavolt is sick. I wish it was faster because it doesn't really make sense that it's as slow as it is. It's like one of the slower Pokemon, like so slow that it's good for like a Trick Room setup. Um, but yeah, it's so ridiculously slow. Um, and its evolution method is so stupid as well. Like, it gets crazy. The hoops you have to jump through to evolve into a Vigavolt. But yeah, I think the Pokemon's design works super well, um, and it's really helpful. I'm pretty sure this is one of the Pokemon I used in my playthrough. I used before. I don't want to give any spoilers for the rest of the tier list, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I used Vikavolt, and the way that you get to it is just ridiculously insane. Like it's offensive to anyone who actually likes Vikavolt how long you have to stick with Charjabug for how bad it is. Um, yeah, Charjabug is a really surprisingly cute design, but but I didn't think they'd make a USB plug combined with a school bus. I didn't think they'd really find any way to make that cute, but here it is, and here I am putting it like that. Um, it's just like the small little like horns, I guess, and like the little eyes. I don't know. Something about this is just really sweet and endearing. And Grubbin can go like down here, I guess. Probably thinking about more than Mickey Pack. Um, sorry. But yeah, Grubbin is just really cute. Or Grubbin is really cute. And Charjabug. is shockingly cute. No pun intended. It just works like a really good design. And if it was better, I would be happy to stick around with it longer. Um, but the fact that you have to wait so long for this, it it does make it a bit worse in my mind, but not enough to like drop it down some. Um, but yeah, I think that in terms of design, I think these two are like really good, and this one's pretty solid for like a first stage Pokemon. Um, Meowth, Alola and Meowth in Persian. Um, I'm gonna put Alola and Meowth there, which is definitely lower than where I had regular mouth, or Meowth. I like Gremlin Pokemon. I like sassy, sarcastic Pokemon designs. But this is not that. This like the pose and the way it stands, and the way its tail's curled, makes it feel much more like rich kid, spoiled and like bratty rather than actual gremlin. I just don't think that design works well on a Pokemon compared to comparatively to Gremlin. And Persian is just awful. the Most of the body is fine because it's just like Persian's body, but then you get to the head, and people say that it looks like it like swallowed a watermelon, but it doesn't. Its head has like no depth. It looks like it swallowed more like a frisbee or something. Like its head is just like largely flat. I think. Um, It's not like rounded off like it would be for a watermelon. It looks like it swallowed a frisbee. And either way, regardless of whatever you think of what this thing may or may not have consumed to look like this, it just it just does not look good. Like and like the face again, it's got like the spoiled kind of energy. The blue gem is like the only interesting part. It's just like and like how'd you even get the blue gem from the coin? I'm just realizing this. Like how did this turn into this? Like I don't get it. Loling, Grimer, and Muck. Grimer is um I don't like Grimer and Muck more normally. I'll put it like there. And then Muck. This might be a controversial opinion. I'm only gonna put Muck like there. I think people significantly overrate Alolan Muck. Even the people who don't like normal Muck because of how like boring it is, like people who acknowledge that Muck is just an ugly pile of sludge, they will look at Alolan Muck and tell you that it's like one of the best Gen 7 Pokemon and one of the most interesting. And I do not get that at all. Because the only thing that changes is that it's a colorful pile of sludge. It is, for all intents and purposes, just muck, but like it looks like it's made out of like a couple Slurpees. Like I really, really do not get the hype for this thing. Like I guess the typing is kind of interesting, but that's really it. Like there's if anything, it almost looks worse than muck just because you don't know what kind of slop got mixed together to make this thing. Like at least muck looks like normal sludge. I just cannot justify this thing existing. Like I'm even tempted to put it lower than this because normally I like muck less than Grimer. The only thing that changes is the color, which that is enough for me to put it higher. Actually, you know what? No, yeah, no, I'm putting it down here. Like I don't care. This thing looks ugly. It looks ugly in terms of its design. It just looks like a normal muck. It looks ugly with the colors. Well, but that's the only interesting thing about it. So that's more than Grimer has. So whatever. I don't know. It just looks bad. Like I don't know, or it looks mediocre at least. Like I'm definitely overplaying it a bit because of how much people love this thing. But I don't know. I just can't. There's no part of me which can justify this being any higher than that. Um, Crabrawler is pretty cool actually. I like it a fair bit. Crabominable though is yeah, isn't that bad? We'll put it like there. Yeah, Crabrawler is a pretty interesting Pokemon, and there's actually a lot of the reveal stuff for Sun and Moon actually showed off Crabrawler. Showing it showed it like taking out some really strong Pokemon. It's disappointing that Crabrawler is not that strong and that they had to give it an evolution because the evolution that we got is Crabominable, which looks absolutely just ugly. Like the top of its head is like weird blonde, which makes it look like it has hair. But, like the hair doesn't look good either. Like the face is ugly. The Pokemon's like weirdly proportioned. Like why is it like an egg shape with four legs with two like noodle arms and gigantic hands? Like I don't know. Like at least Crabrawler like is like small and cute and like looks interesting. Crabominable would make me run away from it, not because I'm scared of it, but because I just don't want to be near this thing anymore. So yeah, I'll probably never use one. I don't think that needs to be said. Alolan Diglett is just Diglett with hair. I don't care. Alolan Dugtrio, they gave it a lot of hair, so much to make it look like a beauty shop, and that is worse for me. Not Persian's still worse, but yeah, I do not like the haircuts at all. Um, they're just really unnecessary, and I don't care that they're like volcanic metal filings or whatever they're called. That is interesting. You could have done so much with that. Why did you make it a beauty parlor? I don't know what I don't know what Game Freak was thinking when they made this design. What part of them made them think that people would like this? People didn't even really care that much for Diglett in the first place. So I don't know why they would think that this would be, acceptable as a design to give us. All right. Anyway, moving on. The Oricorios. So I like them all probably about the same. I'm definitely going to have to look up the names for these. Um, I'll say that the POW style is probably the worst, and that can go in like the solid tier. And then I'll say the Pom Pom style I like a bit more. And then these two could actually knock themselves up to the A tier. The the Bile Bae style or the Sensu style. Sensu style I think looks quite nice, and I might actually be interested in using a playthrough someday. I might do one with this style as well. But the problem is there are a lot of our other interesting fire types in this region, or there are at least a few. Like I'm gonna use Incineroar before it probably. I'm gonna use Turtonator before it. I just don't really see it in a situation where I'd ever go down to use this thing. Well, I guess there are quite a few ghosts. Whatever. I still like the Senzu one more. It looks really elegant and regal. Um, I don't know what the red with this one style is trying to do. It's hard when it's just like a still image, but like right now, it's hard to even tell what this thing is doing, just based off the sprite. And I don't remember if I ever encountered one in game, so I don't know if I don't know if I even know what this thing is supposed to look like. Um, and these two are just kind of fine. Um, like the colors on this one are a bit. The colors on these two both are a bit too bright for me. Um, and this one is very clearly like feminine. Like it's wearing a skirt. It's wearing got like the headdress going. But at least from my perspective, it always looked like this thing like wasn't wearing a top, which made me really uncomfortable. Like if it's supposed to be feminine, what is that? Like, I don't I just don't know. Like it just feels like it's missing something. Um, and then pom pom form, I like the energy. I like that it's electric type. Um, uh, I'm actually fine um, with it being based off of like cheerleading. Um, Part of me thought I wasn't for a little bit there, but I guess I am. I don't really see why it would even be a problem. I guess it's just not like a, it's not as like traditional. It's just more for more for like high energy and entertainment compared to these, which tend to be more, you know, I guess I don't want to say intimate. That's not the right word. More elegant, just in general. I think again, I don't know what this one's trying to do. Um, anyway, it is at a point where I'm just like trying to explain things from my perspective, and it's not working. So I'm just gonna move on. Cutie Fly is indeed cute. Probably put it fairly decently high. I'll say like there. Rabombi is honestly a little bit less cute, and it's still trying to be cute. It's just less cute. So I'll put it right under it. It's not like overwhelmingly less cute, but it just has a lot more going on, and I think that works to its detriment generally. Um, like this one just looks like a normal animal. This one almost looks like a person, uh, with animal wings and like features. It becomes more humanoid, which I think takes away from the cuteness, personally. Rockruff is a really adorable Pokemon. Definitely not that high, but I'll put it like here, probably. It's super cute. It just looks like a dog with like some weird coloring, but like the coloring makes it look cute too. Like the blue eyes, the lighter coat with the like different colored tail. It has enough to be sort of complex, but still keeping itself cute because it's like a dog. Then the Lycanroc forms, which are all pretty. I'll put this one in excellent. I think. It looks really good and fearsome. This one I'll put like a little bit lower, and this one I'll put the lowest. The orange coloring works a lot less than the coloring for these two though. I like this one being more like werewolfish kind of, like lichen, like that. That's what it is. It's a lichen. But but yeah, I think the colors work a lot better for this one when it's more like the natural looking, in my opinion. Um, Although these two designs are still great. Um, I just like this one the most. The dusk. That's the midday form. This is the midnight form. This is the dusk form. Okay, got it. I'll probably use one on my playthrough of Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon. It really depends on what I do with it, because I might Nuzlocke it as well. But we'll see where that goes. Wishy Washy solo form and school form. Wishy Washy solo form is just like a boring generic fish. I don't really care for it at all. Wishy Washy school form is a really cool concept and a really cool design. Um, I'll put it like there. Um, I think it's cool that when it loses health, it represents the school like breaking apart, where it then becomes the solo form. Um, it's just a really cool design, and the design itself is fairly menacing. Like it looks really big here, like a really large fish that you wouldn't want to get trapped with. But it's made of a bunch of smaller fish, which I think looks really good. I don't know why those many fish lose their like white coloring. Why is it just blue mostly, except for like up here in the eye? Um, but other than that, I don't really have any flaws. Like it looks really good like this, and it's in the school form. Um, Mar- Marini and Toxapex. Um, Marini looks kind of weird to be honest. I've never really looked at it. I genuinely might have never seen this Pokemon in my life. Um, Cause like I knew Toxapex had a pre-evolution. I just didn't remember it looking like that. Um, Toxapex itself can go like up here. It's fine. I think a lot of people overrate it just because this might be like a lot of people's first introduction to like stall tactics with like just with like healing moves and like toxic spikes and stuff like that and toxic. Um, and it does that job really well, especially up against like people who don't know what they're doing. So have a lot of people might have gotten good memories of it because of that. Um, I don't really know. I don't. I don't know why a lot of people seem to care more about it than I do. It's just like it's just fine to me, really. Like it looks fine. Like the colors are good. It's interesting that it's like a big, like shell hiding a small body. I like the spikes on it, but I don't really. I just can't really justify putting it much higher than that, if at all. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Mudbray and Mudsdale. Mudbray is all right. It's it's like a fine first stage Pokemon. There's nothing really special about it. It just looks like a mini mule or donkey or something. It's kind of cute, I guess, but nothing really stand out. Mudsdale is really solid. I'll put it like up there. This is one of the other Pokemon I used for my first team. So my team so far is, from what I've said, is consisting of Decidueye, Mudsdale, and Toucannon. I believe that's it. Yeah. Um, and maybe Vikavolt, but we'll have to get back to that later. I can actually take a look at some point, but I won't do that in this video. um, but yeah, I think Mudsdale is really cool. It's like this giant horse. It's actually like a lot bigger than it looks, and it weighs like tons. Like I think literal tons. Maybe not that heavy, but like it's crazy heavy for what you would expect from this Pokemon. Like there are a lot of Pokemon which feel like they're a lot bigger than this. Um, which this thing might actually be bigger than and heavier than. This one is just a lot, a lot more than you would think in both attributes, which I think is pretty cool. Um, and it was really fun to use. Now that was probably back. I think it was back in the day where I would use a lot more of a lot less tactics. So it probably just had like three ground moves and then like maybe close combat or something. But I don't care. It was fun to use. I liked it. Um, Dupiter and Araquanid. Dupiter is kind of cute, but nothing really to write home about. I like that it looks like it's like holding the bubble on its head for protection. Um, that's about the only standout part about it to me. Araquanid though is really sick. Um, I don't remember if I used this one in my playthrough or not. Um, okay, I don't believe I did, but it's hard to say. Maybe I'll put it in the comments. What team I used when I played through. I'll find everything on my team and put it in there properly. Um, but yeah, it's sick. Um, it's kind of weird they introduced two bug water types because um, Glycopod is also bug water, right? Like, I'm not crazy for thinking that. Yeah, it's also bug water. I don't know why they did that, but hey, it works out. This Pokemon's pretty cool. Um, it has like a sort of creepy, like spider-esque design. Like especially with like the menacing face. Um, but I feel like it's kind of enhanced by the bubbles. I can't really explain why. It's almost just like it's an extra layer of protection, which the fact that it can think like that also it makes it feel kind of menacing that something so scary and animalistic can think like that and have strategies like that. I guess it's hard to really explain otherwise, but I think so. Um, Although maybe if someone could do a rendition of it without the bubbles, maybe I would find it creepy enough to place it higher. But yeah, as it stands, that's a pretty freaking cool design. Fomantis and Lurantis. Fomantis is kind of cute, but nothing really to write home about. It feels like it's got like a big head, especially with this thing on top. But otherwise, I don't really have any comments. I like the coloring. Um, Lurantis though is a really cool design. It's like a pseudo Wudo almost, where it's grass pretending to be a bug. Like pseudo Wudo is rock pretending to be a tree. Um, which I think the idea is cool, and the design is pretty nice, but not much higher than like this personally. Um, I actually really like the pink and the white contrast on there. Normally, I'm not the biggest fan of pink. Sorry about that. Yeah, normally I'm not the biggest fan of pink, but I think it really works for Lurantis. It looks pretty nice. Almost looks like shrimp, kind of like in terms of the coloring. And I don't know why, but it makes me like it. And it has like a very elegant feel to it, like the way it's like almost hiding part of its face with its arms and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just a design that works for me. Morlul and Shiinotic. Morlul is all right. I have no positive or negative feedback to give this thing. Um, cute eyes, I guess. That's about it. The, the rest of the design doesn't really do anything for me. Um, Shiinotic though is pretty solid. Um, I like the creepy factor that's going on with like the super thin and pale body, contrasted by like the big colorful flower. Um, but that's about all I can really say about this thing. I have no real notes personally about this Pokemon. Like it's just a design that I like. I probably would never use it, but it's a pretty nice design. Salandit and Salazzle. Salandit is see this is like the Gremlin design I like. This one really works because it's got like the smirked eyes, like this, or it's got the smirk with the mouth with like the slit eyes. Um, and it also looks really cute because it looks like it's wearing like a mask back here, like with how it looks like it's tied, and like the cool red going down the tail with the emblem on the back. I think the design works well enough to be a pretty solid design. Um, I hi Salazzle. I hate to say that I like you because the internet has kind of ruined you, but in terms of pure design, you're probably like up there. Uh, I'm sorry, Salazzle. I'm sorry you have to go through this. Um, but yeah, like the design is pretty good. It's sleek. It's elegant. This is like the sort of gremlin that I like because like I said with Salandit, Salazzle also has like a smirking face without it being like smirking rich kid. Although now like it's Salazzle, she kind of looks like a smirking like high school girl, like like someone in the vein of like Pacifica Northwest kind of with how she's looking at people. I'll put her there. Alolan Marowak. This is another Pokemon I used, and I think the design works really well, much more than regular Marowak. Um, something about it's just like the Pokemon itself doesn't really change, but the color of the flames and the slight color changes of the body work really nicely. Um, I'll put it like there, I think. But yeah, really sick design. Super dark design with like the brighter flames. I think the contrast works well there. Stuffle and Beware. Stuffle is cute. Um, I think I'll put it like there. Um, and Beware. I'll also just put like a little bit lower, higher. Um, the only thing I really think of when it comes to Beware is the time that one beat what was the Ultra Beast? It beat it beat one of them, or like was it an even Ultra Beast? Am I tripping? I don't see the Pokemon anywhere right here. I thought it was from this area. Not Lurantis then. Serena? No, not Serena. Right? What am I thinking of? It beat up some really strong Pokemon. Like what am I thinking of? I'm gonna look it up real quick. Pheromosa, right. Is Pheromosa not on here? No, it's right there. Okay, I just missed it. But yeah, that's the only thing I really think of with this fight, or with this Pokemon, is the fight it had with Furbosa where it won. Um, but that's about really all I think of. It's got like it's got an interesting combination of colors, but like the obvious cutoff line is a bit weird, and the cute like blank bear face like you'd see on something like Three Bear Bears. Um, it's just like it's kind of cute. It's funny how it's like cute but like insanely strong. But that's about all I really can think about with it. Bounce Suite is really adorable. I think it works really well as a design. Probably somewhere like there. Steenie is also decently cute, but like not as much. Probably just because this part down here looks like a diaper to me. But the rest of it is a cute design. Serena is cool, but I'll probably leave it like there. Um, it looks a bit too humanoid for me. Like it's even got like the long, like almost like boots that it's wearing. It's got like the high eyelash or eyebrow, sort of like the neutral look of like assessing something. Like it's just it's a cool design, but like I don't know, something about it just feels like it's like generic. Uh, this is the one that looks like high school popular girl kind of. Comfey is a Pokemon I didn't even know existed until the DLC of Sun and Moon when I saw it around the dojo, whatever that place is called. Um, it's fine. Nothing really to write home about. I like the idea. I think it works for this kind of region. I just don't really have anything to say about it because the only interesting thing about it is the colors, um, and that's really it. Oranguru and Passimian. I know they're not part of the same line, but I group them together. Um, I used to like Oranguru more. Um, it's got like a pretty solid design. Put it like there. I think I like Passimian more now, but not by that much. Um, I just think the more slim style works for this kind of Pokemon. It looks a lot like faster and stronger because of that. Whereas this thing, like it's obviously more of the mental game type of thing. Like obviously it's even a psychic type, um, but I just don't think the design works as well to back that up. And I don't know how strong it is, so I can't even really say. Um, Wimpod and Galissapod. Wimpod is like interesting for like the bottom feeder kind of Pokemon design. Um, but like it's not that great personally. Galissapod though is really cool. I'm gonna put it up here in excellent. I think I'm gonna put it above Araquanid. Again, it's weird that they're like right next to each other. But I sort of lumped them together in my head for like that same reason. I also just realized I kind of did that with the two grass types as well here. The two pure grass types because I think they're both pure grass types. Um, but yeah, no, this thing is pretty cool. It's got a cool ability. Emergency exit, right? I think so. Um, and first impression is just a really cool combination of stuff. It seems like it'd be fun to use in a playthrough. Maybe I'll get the chance to at some point. I'll have to put together the team, the ideal team. Sandygast and Palossand. Sandygast is surprisingly cute for what is just a pile of sand with a shovel in it, with eyes. I'll put it like there. And Palossand is surprisingly cool for a pile of sand with a pail on top, or the shovel on top. No, it probably goes higher. I'll put it like there. Or will I? I genuinely don't know why I like this thing so much, and I also don't know why I didn't use it on my first playthrough. I almost definitely will this time. It's probably my favorite ghost type from the read. Well, no, aside from Decidueye. That's probably why I didn't use it really. Um, but yeah, I think the design works shockingly well for what is literally just a sandcastle with a shovel on top. And I can't really explain why. It just looks like it has that sort of haunted feeling to it, which is stupid. It's just sand. It is just sand. Why do I like this thing so much? I cannot tell you. Um, but hey, it works. The design works somehow. I doubt even Game Freak expected it to be as popular as it is. But yeah, I don't know. It just works. It does just work. Pyukamuku is quite cute. Um, that's really all there is to it. Um, it's so bad. It's like a new Wobbuffet kind of, but like way worse. But it's just terrible. Like it sucks that it's so bad to use because its stats are so horrendous. Um, but it's cute and that's all that matters for this ranking. Type Null and Silvally, which are technically legendaries, I guess. I don't. I'd prefer them to not be actually, but they're right. Type Null is pretty sick though. Put it like there. I really like that this looks like a sort of rusted over helmet thing with like a blade on the head. I think that actually does look better than Silvally. Not by like a lot, because I like Silvally's like facial features, especially with like the griffin kind of feeling to it. But so think about this, like the amalgamation of whatever this thing is with like the rusted helmet makes it look like ancient. And I think it looks really really cool compared to this thing, which does look very sleek and a lot more, I guess, natural. Um, so I like both, and I might use one, but otherwise that's about it. Um, Minior is pretty cool. Um, I'm not gonna rank both versions, so I'm just gonna use this one. Um, but both aspects that contribute to why it's so cool. It looks so huge with like this, because a lot of these Pokemon are like scaled down. This is way scaled up. Um, so this Pokemon by itself wouldn't be that interesting, but the fact that it becomes this and that there are all sorts of different colors and the way that the shiny forms look are just completely excellent. Like I think they did a really good job with designing this thing, and I might use it at some point. I don't know for sure, but I'm tempted to. I don't know how strong it is, but it looks like it'd be interesting at the very least. Kamala is just whatever. I don't really care. So the case of like the cute thing is surprisingly strong, but I just do not. I don't care. Turtonator is pretty sick. Um, I'll put it. I'll put it up here. I like it more than I thought I did. Um, the design looks a little clunky, but I think that adds to it because everything is so like sharp and angled. Um, it looks like it's like really roughly put together, and that feels like something that would actually happen in nature because of that. And the color contrast is really sick. And I like its appearance in terms of its like facial expression, even though it's like a weird like horned snout thing that it's got for a mouth. Um, but yeah, the design's pretty sick. Togedemaru is standard Pikachu clone stuff. Um, I mean, I don't really care a lot for Pikachu clones usually. Pikachu does not need a new clone every generation, in my opinion. But it is pretty cute, so it can go like eh, leave it like there. So you can go down there too. Mimikyu. Oh, Golems first, because this list I'm looking at has the Alola forms later. So it is actually the Geodude line first. Alolan Geodude is just standard Geodude, but with hair. Just like it was a stupid idea with Diglett, it's a stupid idea here. Um, but it looks slightly better here, so you can go like there. Graveler's like a bit cooler, but not by that much. And Golem is like almost interesting. Probably cooler. I probably think it's cooler than a lot of these Pokemon up here, but not like that much. It still looks like a fat old guy kind of. Um, but like the like rock magnet thing it's got going on up here is at least slightly interesting. So it can go like here. I don't know. I'll probably never use it, which is weird because I was using Golem in my first ever playthrough. So who knows? Um, Mimikyu is Mimikyu should just be the Pikachu clone this game. There should not be Togedemaru. It doesn't need to exist. Mimikyu is the Pikachu clone. I know it's not actually Pikachu. I know it doesn't really look like Pikachu because it's just like this little creature with eyes here. Um, but no, but yeah, I think this is all we need in terms of quote unquote Pikachu clone for this generation. I'd be happy with that. And in terms of a concept, it's really cool. Its typing is really cool. Its ability is cool. Um, I'm not sure if I ever want to use it one day, but it's something. It'd be it's something I think it would be fun to use, if nothing else. Um, Bruxish is a really stupid Pokemon. Why do you exist? Um, I'll put it up here. I don't think it's worse than these two, but it's like really bad. Like it's just the colors are the only part of this which doesn't make me instantly want to like cook this thing and eat it for dinner. Um, the colors are slightly interesting. I don't think the yellow fits, but like the bright purple or the bright like pink and purple and blue all work well together. But why does it look like that, man? Why is it looking at me like that? Like I just am really uncomfortable with this Pokemon's design overall. Um, good colors, I will give it that alone. And for that reason, I actually will put Carbonado above it because I at least like this thing's colors kind of. Um, it's interesting that they were like, let's make a fish that's just super bright in a bunch of colors because a lot of fish are kind of like that, but but I just don't think it works when they try to pull it together. Um, Drampa or Drampa or whichever. Drampa looks kind of silly. I like how kind of silly it is. He's just like an old dragon, pretty much old wise dragon. Um, but I think the design works out well. I'll put him like there. Um, just like old noodle dragon who's just old, who's just wise and kind of more like the dragon from Merlin than an actual like rageful and fearsome dragon. It's just more known for its knowledge than anything else and its wisdom. Alolan Sandslash and Sandshrew. Sandshrew is really cute. I'll put him like up there. Sandslash is really cool. I think this is a Pokemon I haven't used, but I don't really remember. Um, I'll put him like there. Pretty decent improvement on the Sandshrew design or Sandslash design, which I already liked in the first place. Um, but yeah, I'd say I probably like this more, maybe. I don't know, it's pretty close. Um, but the typing is interesting. The colors work well here. I really like light blue as a color, and the white, which I think is supposed to represent like steel on the long claws, looks good. Delmise is a pretty solid Pokemon in terms of an animate object Pokemon. Again, I don't really have a problem with them as much as most people do anyway. But but I think it looks cool. Um, giant like the fact that it's the moss too as well, not even the anchor. So I guess it isn't even a man-made Pokemon because it's the moss, or whatever that is. I forget what kind of thing it is, but it's whatever. Um, yeah, Delmise looks cool. It is pretty cool. Another goes grass type in a region with Decidueye. It's kind of weird that they've done that. That they do that a lot of generations. They'll introduce a type for a starter, and then they'll introduce like a backup, I guess, kind of, or like an alternative. Like they did that with Skeledirge and Sortilege. I don't know why. Um, it's just kind of weird. Um, anyway, but Delmise itself is pretty cool. There is a lot of variance in color here, and it's none of it's like overwhelmingly bad or anything like that. The rusted anchor kind of look with the almost like propeller thing up here going on with the moss, or like it's driving like a steering wheel. Um, it looks good. It looks good. Alolan Vulpix is way up here in terms of cuteness. I would put it up there. Alola Ninetales is, yeah, I like it more than Decidueye. I think it, it it's just so elegant, and it has a really fun and interesting design. I like the it just all like really flows together in a way that I can't understand. Like like the nine tails don't even look like nine tail. I mean, they didn't look like nine tails and nine tails either because nine tails only had like seven tails. But yeah, like it all flows really well. It's super elegant. I really like all the protected accessories because they're basically like these things will guide people down the mountain because they just want to be left the fuck alone. And I think that's a really funny like lore reason for it to do anything, and I love it for that. I think it definitely deserves such a high placement. This thing was as good of an Alolan form as we probably could have possibly gotten. Alolan Executor is just so fun. I love how derpy he is. If I have to use a grass type, or if I plan on using a grass type, it'll probably be him. Um, but yeah, I just love how silly he is. I like him a lot more than regular Executor because the faces are always like, "Hi, hi, how are you doing? Hey, how's it going? How's it going down there? You having fun? I'm having a great time." And I think that's such like a funny vibe for him, and the long neck, and him being a dragon, which is awesome. Just fuck Charizard even harder. It's just so funny. Oh, this thing is a dragon. So many things that look like dragons aren't. Like it's great. I love it. I love that it exists. Pseudo legendary time. So it's I have to remember the order here. Jangmo was first. Jangmo looks super derpy. I don't, not in a really good way. Like it might look fine without this big thing on its head, the shell, I guess, or whatever it is, or scale rather. No, I like it more than Meowth. I like it more than Grimer and Muck. But yeah, really like that. That part takes away from both these Pokemon's designs, in my opinion. It works for Komo, but for Hakomo and Jangmo, I think it really detracts. And like this thing has a big ass head, like a super big head. Look at this neck. Like how does that support anything going on up here? Um, yeah, so that takes away from it, in my opinion. Hakamo is a little bit better, but not by that much. Um, Django though is pretty solid. I don't think I'm gonna put it much higher than that. It's just like a cool design. Um, and I think it works pretty well for like if we were gonna be getting a fighting dragon, that's probably about the best we were gonna get. Although I would like them to try again because I don't know the scales as armor look cool and like the tail's like a mace and that's sick. But I don't know, something about this feels like it's a bit much personally. The Tapus starting with um where do I even want to start? Can I say that Tapu Bulu, first of all, doesn't really look like a grass type? That's just like the start. The other three at least look like their types, even if they could look more like them. but I never really got this thing bigger grass type. But that's the reason it's probably my least favorite. I'll put it somewhere like down here. It's like fine, but not that great. Tapu, Lele can go up towards the top of solid. It's a pretty good design. I just like the other two more personally. I'd say Tapu Koko's next. Um, I'll put it somewhere like there, and then Tapu Fini can go like right above it. Um, Overall, the Tapus are decently solid, but like not amazing. God, I saw how much we still have left, and that's just for like legendaries and ultra beasts. Oh my gosh, this region feels so much more massive than I think it actually is. Cosmog is kind of cute. I don't really like how it doesn't really have any moves though. It's just kind of lame. Well, no, I like Nebby enough to where I put it higher, quite a bit higher actually. Um, Cosmoium looks pretty cool. I like eye symbolism. Like, I mean, my favorite movies are the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and the Eye of Sauron is like a pretty big deal there. So I'll put Cosmoium somewhat higher, probably like there. And then Solgaleo and Lunala. Solgaleo is a pretty strong design for a legendary. I think it goes somewhere like there, but Lunala is just superior in my opinion. Lunala is pretty sick. I think I probably switched to using this in my playthrough because I wasn't at the point where I was denying legendaries yet. But this thing is just really fun, and it looks sick. And I don't care if it's shiny; it doesn't really look like a blood moon because blood moons look like a certain different kind of red or whatever. I don't care. His shiny looks cool because it like symbolizes that, or it seems like it does. Oh god! And now the Ultra Beast Gauntlet. Um, jeez. Where do I even begin with these? I guess let's just do it more. Nihiligo is fine. Giant jellyfish thing looks kind of weird. Kind of funky. Buzzwole is bad. Um, Same sort of issue that I sometimes have with Infernape, except I have it all the time with Buzzwole. Super. I mean the legs aren't as skinny, but like the top, he's just so top heavy that it's hard to not notice. And like the bug features just make it even weirder. And like it's so bright red, it just doesn't work for me. Pheromosa almost has the opposite problem, but I think it at least works a little bit better. Um, it at least it looks like a Pokemon that would at least work that would where it would work for what it's trying to go for, which it seems like seems like what it's trying to go for is like the fast like nimble thing that can like hide like a cockroach kind of and like the bright white coloring of it. I'll put it somewhere like here. I'll put it below where just for fun. I don't really have a more specific placement for it, so it can go be a little bit more for the walls. Um, Circuitry, Draven really likes Circuitry a lot, and like seeing it run and having them influence it like that does make me like it more. But to me, it's still just like some looks like a metal Christmas tree, like an electric Christmas tree. Celesteela, I don't even know what it's trying to be. I like the coloring; it almost looks like green rust. Um, that's about all I can say about it though. I don't know what's going on here. He's just super mediocre. Kartana is pretty cool in comparison to the rest of the Ultra Beasts. I'll put it like there. Um, it does look like this one is one that almost looks like a Pokemon. So does Pheromosa, but this one is one that I could see it like real like if they did it as a Pokemon, I would see that like working. It'd probably be lower down for me if that was the case, but the fact that it's an Ultra Beast sort of enhances it by comparison, because I don't like a lot of them. Guzzlord is Draven likes this one too, but I don't. It's It's not as bad as these other ones, but it's just so rotund in a not cute way. I think I like rotundness generally if it's cute like Rowlet, but if it's more like big and menacing, I don't like it as much. Um, oh boy. Let me see if I can find even the names for these things because I don't know. Because I do not know um, what these versions of the Pokemon are called. Um, oh, oh no, that only. I looked at the Ultra Sun and Moon changes, and it only includes these five, so can't really say that. I don't really comment that much, but I guess these are just like Necrozma, Lunala, and Necrozma, Solgaleo. Um, Either way, this one looks sick. They both look kind of sick actually. They're both really cool. I still like regular Lunala more than Solgaleo, but I'll give Solgaleo credit for being really fucking sick. With the I think the bright color and contrasted with the dark as night appearance. Looks like it's like a really looks like they're really celestial beings encased in like armor. And I think it looks sick like that. I'll lower Primarina I think to below them, but yeah, they look awesome. Necrozma, I appreciate that the black is like an absence of night or absence of light. I don't know why I can't speak today. I can't speak most days. Let's be honest. It's a cool design. I appreciate that it has like an absence of light thing going on. I fixed it. Um, but nothing about the design is that stand out compared to a lot of the other legendaries here. Ultra Necrozma is cooler. Um, I'll put it like up there. It's not quite reaching into the excellent tier. It's just you got the you got the normal Necrozma with no light. This is being a creature made entirely of light. Again, I don't know the lore because I have not played Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon, so I can't really say for certain um, whether this makes sense as a design. I might like them or I might like or dislike them more when I do play Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Hopefully that's for the channel. Um, but yeah, as far as the design itself goes, I'll probably put it like there. I think Magearna looks weird and clunky, kinda, but it's like fine mostly. That's actually a really good spot for it. I just sort of dragged it there randomly, and that's kind of works out actually. Marshadow is really cute, surprisingly. Um, but I mean, it works. I will actually put this one up in excellent. I think. I think the design really works for it. I'm gonna lower Araquanid to the bottom here. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good spot for it. And then I don't really even know how to get to this version of Marshadow, so I'll just put it right below it, I guess. I don't know what it is or how to get to it, or whether I would even consider it as like a different form. So yeah, it gets to stay there, I guess. Poipole and Naganadel. Poipole is kind of cute, um, but I don't think it's as cute as a lot of people do, like MNJTV. Because I think he likes Poipole, doesn't he? I don't remember. Naganadel though, I think is pretty cool. It's like a big like wasp-looking thing. I'll put Poipole a bit lower, quite a bit lower. Yeah, Naganadel's pretty sick. I like the big needle. I like the coloring going on here. It's like a dragon kind of thing, but like a dragon wasp almost, if that was a thing. Uh, I like that the stinger almost looks more like it has an opening down here. It looks like at least it's hard to tell, but yeah, it's like the only real qualm I have with it. I think the design itself is cool. Stack Attack is my favorite Ultra Beast. It's just so stupid. No, I love this thing way more than I probably should, and the fact that it's shiny looks like gold blocks almost. I have been hunting it and recently, or I have it in my list of Pokemon to hunt in the Dynamax adventures. Because I do really like the shiny. Um, Part of me just wants like a normal one more, but I might do that in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon anyway. So I might as well shiny hunt it in Dynamax adventures, where I'm having fun. But yeah, this thing is just really silly to me. The name is so stupid. It's Stackataka. Because it's just a bunch of bricks stacking on top of each other. It's just Does it look like a giant Lego tower with legs sometimes? And I just think it's really fucking stupid. It's just so silly to me. I love it. Blacephalon, on the other hand, is it's a weird Dippin' Dots color combination. Everything is just so bright here. It's like the opposite of the Bruxish problem. It's just everything is too bright and too weird. I like it more than these though. Zeraora is decently sick. I mean, it's supposed to be like I think it's supposed to be like a Lucario or something. Like looks it looks pretty cool though. I'll put it like there. And then Meltan and Melmetal, I I just don't care for them. It's gonna be a really anticlimactic way to end the slit ranking. Because usually they end it with something that I have like really high or really low or something. But Melmetal and Meltan are just like kind of whatever. Meltan is kind of cute, I guess. It can go at like the top of solid. Melmetal is like pretty cool, I guess. It can go a bit below that. Sure, that works for me. Really super anticlimactic, and I do apologize for that. But yeah, I think that is pretty much my tier list for for Alola Pokemon. Again, if I missed any, let me know in the comments over on YouTube. If you do see this VOD on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Uh, I have links on screen to join uh, my Twitch and my Discord, and both of those will be in the description, and the link to Discord will be in the comments. Um, so yeah, just thank you so much for watching. I do really appreciate it. Alola Ninetales Supremacy. Yeah, just thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. I will talk to you in the next video, which should probably be tomorrow, but I will have to see how my time works out. So I will see you whenever. Peace.